Live from the studio inside my Honda Accord, parked on a street above the Bel Air Hotel in beautiful Beverly Hills, California. It's our show. So, babe, what's on your mind?
So first of all, let's give a little explaining about why we're recording this in a car versus room, bedrooms, or studio like any other
That's right.
human.
I live on a street where the traffic is nonstop outside my window. Even when you close the window, I can't do recording. I can't record voiceovers. I can't. It's amazing that I've tuned it out enough just to sleep or have any kind of inner dialogue with myself because there's so much noise. Not to mention the police station and the fire station are just up the road, and it's the only signal in the area. So every jackass with a loud motorcycle or a souped-up BMW decides to use my street to go speeding down. Not often enough followed by the cops to pull them over with their sirens, although I hear plenty of that too.
Yeah, like when I call Dante, it sounds like he's in the hood. It's just like police and chasing and craziness and people yelling and horns. It's crazy. So
Yeah, so
and I can't on my place. I have a dog and it's a lot of complicated situation. Let's not go there. But anyway, so we don't have a studio to go to. And I came up with the idea that we could record in the car. And Dante's like, great. He was in. And then we found a good quiet spot not far from his house that's very inspiring, has beautiful trees.
that's right.
And we're just sitting here in the car talking, having a conversation.
That's right.
So that's what we're setting up, guys, in his Honda Accord. And it is a kind of chill day. We had warmer days the other day.
We don't need to go into a weather report. I'm sure people don't.
You know, guys, like, do you guys agree? Like, he started this podcast, in the fine note, he's poking me.
I'm not poking you.
Poking me.
I'm really
and then
not,
he's poking me again. He goes like, let's not talk about the weather. And
well, I'm just
like,
saying, like, people don't.
like,
People know it's LA in June. The weather's going to be reasonably warm. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the listener.
Sure.
All right. So,
Dante, what the news was telling you?
there was nothing in the news that was really jumping out at me to talk about.
Okay, there's one thing that's in the news recently. Okay.
Yeah.
That is about the cancel culture is back.
Right. Well, I don't think it ever went anywhere. I mean, actually, we've been living in the cancel culture era pretty much since the social media era began. I can trace the two.
That's true. It's kind of interesting, but with the Me Too movement, and there was also like the I think like even Corey, what's his name, the Feldberg or
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, he came out too and talks about expose a lot of people, but they didn't got canceled, didn't do anything because it's been so long. And then the Kevin Spacey and the Me Too movement.
Yeah. I think the problem with Corey Feldman's exposure was he was teasing that it was going to be this big, powerful celebrity that everyone's heard of. So we're all expecting, oh my God, what's he going to bring down, Spielberg or something?
Who was it?
It was Charlie Sheen. Which we already knew Charlie Sheen was crazy and a bit out of control, and he had his whole thing 10 years ago. Plus, he came out that he has HIV just a few years ago. So when everyone heard it was Charlie Sheen, it was like, ugh. I mean, not to downplay whatever abuse you're accusing him of perpetrating, but like that was the reveal, Charlie Sheen. We knew that Charlie Sheen was
I didn't
a little bit out of control.
I know he was out of control with he was bisexual, he liked hookers and stuff. No, but
we don't know that he was bisexual. We got to be careful when we say things like that because we also don't know if he actually did the abuse. But
I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know. Like, actually, just bring that up to me. I have no idea. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I mean, one of the reasons I think his documentary didn't went far is, first of all, he wanted people to pay for $30 for streaming, and I don't know exactly. He made it very difficult for people to get information.
And it was only going to run for one day or something.
Yeah, and then he went to like all sorts of news media for like 5 years saying that he's working on this. and it's just been really hard to kind of keep up with that. Okay, the point is, there's been this huge movement of big names out there that are being called, and things are being canceled, and it's just crazy. Like a lot of the things happening with Stassi from the Vanderpump Rules. I used to like her podcast. It's just crazy that people are getting called, and things that they say years ago being brought back to light. So I almost feel like it just feels so unsafe to have freedom of speech in a sense in general, because sometimes it's just such a small thing.
Right. Well, there's certainly a reckoning going on right now. Um, and part of it is, you know, what always happens, same thing with the Me Too movement. Like, people will report some of this stuff, not all, sometimes in real time, not always, or, stories will leak out, people will whisper about it, but usually nothing ever gets done. And eventually there's just so much, it reaches a tipping point, and the floodgates open, and it's like so much wasn't done for so long that whoever the group is who's getting to experience, their kind of catharsis is just like, we're coming for everybody. Whoever said or posted or did anything, in this current case, racist. So, I mean, this could just be the beginning. I don't know. I never really watched the Vanderpump Rules. I don't know much about Stassi or her comments or what exactly got her fired, but you know, you gotta be more careful, especially if you're a blonde white woman. I mean, you really gotta watch what you say, not because we don't have free speech, but just out of self-preservation. Hopefully you wouldn't be an actual racist, but if you are,
She's not.
watch your mouth.
I don't think she's. I mean, here's my personal opinion. I don't know. I don't want to put my hand on fire for Stassi, but I think hands down, like during these years watching Vanderpump Rules, which has been like what 10 years the show has been on. She doesn't come across as a racist. She's somewhat entitled, and she's a person. She speaks what's in her mind. She doesn't regard if that's your first day on the job, or if you never worked you're a model that got recruited to work in a restaurant, she will call it up. Or if you're lying, she'll call in your bullshit. She seems to be a very
She was one of those tell it like it is type of people.
yeah, tell how it is type of person. That's why she has a podcast, which I haven't heard in a little while, but it's a pretty good podcast, and she talks about topics that are kind of like out there, and it's in everyone's mind. Like there was like the year before La La Land got, like when she said like the year before La La Land lost for Moonlight, or I don't Moonlight or Moonshine.
Moonshine is like
Moonlight, the drink.
illegal liquor that
Oh yeah,
hillbillies make.
guys, like I'm Italian Brazilian, so sometimes I get a little confused. So I think it's Moonlight. But the thing is, like, people are complaining the year before there's not many ethnical movies out there, and then so she was just saying, make better movies, and she used very harsh terms and stuff like that. So it was bad. But then, like, the thing is, everybody was thinking the same thing. But the next year, Moonlight won, and people are like, okay, La La Land deserved to win, but they didn't win. And there was a whole drama. They read their own name, and they don't think it was from purpose. And I don't know. There was like a lot of drama happening at that time. But
oh no, go ahead.
and I'm just saying, like, I think like she said what we're thinking, and she said what a lot of other people were saying, and I
Do
think.
we know what like her exact quote was? I'm just curious. We could pull it up somewhere so we can see.
Where is your production manager?
Do you have your phone?
What did she said exactly?
Jamie, look that up.
Who's Jamie?
No, that's what Joe Rogan always says.
What a fan.
Yeah, and by the way, while Evie looks this up, as I said, if you are a racist, you would think that people would have a sense of self-preservation, but a lot of times these people can't help themselves. It's like, I don't know if they get off on it. like a criminal who needs to confess, but eventually they expose themselves either because they get a little thrill.
I think I got it here.
Or from just they think it's so normal. It's just such a normal part of their everyday life. These thoughts that they start to they'll just start saying them because they think it's normal, and then everyone else is like, "What? Huh?" Okay, let's hear the actual quote.
Wait, this is the actual
This
quote.
is Stassi Schroeder.
Schroeder.
Was she German?
She's American.
German descent.
Yes, her
Stassi Schroeder.
her husband or fiance, Bo, he's Italian, like, and he kind of looked like you a little bit, but
Oh, no.
but with my eyes, he looked like he could be our adult son one day.
Well, listen, I disavow Stassi Schroeder
Okay, bye.
in all forms.
Okay, let's listen.
All right.
People don't get offended. I'm like really sick of everyone making everything about race.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of over it, and I know that I am the one person who's not allowed to say that because I am a white, privileged, blonde, 28-year-old. So I get that. I'm saying it, I know, but I have a podcast, and it's an outlet to say what I think, and if you don't like what I think or what I have to say, then, like, you don't have to listen to it. You can turn it off or unfollow me, whatever. But, like, everyone giving their impassioned speeches about race and all of that stuff, I'm like, why is it always just about African Americans? Like, why aren't the Asians being like, we're not represented?
Jesus.
Why aren't, like, I don't know, like, Native Americans and Latinos being like, we're not represented? Why is it that they're like, it's always just that? And then, like,
Okay,
whenever they get
when
upset,
was this?
then
This was around the time of
everybody has to go above and
this was
This
around the
is-
time of those Oscars.
This is the time before the Oscars, before there was like a lot of black nominations. The year
Okay.
before La La Land, there was the only year that Oscars didn't have anyone that's African American nominated, or there's no
Right.
African American movies coming up. There were some indie movies, but they're not out there, like, in quality. So what she's saying, she's like, and then when people were standing there, like the actors where they were receiving the awards, they'll be like, I'm happy for winning this, but I would like to say this, there's a lot of good black actors, and so that the white people were like doing all the like sucking dick thing. Sorry, but and then she was saying that she's like, why do we have to listen to this and have to be dealing with this, So she said what was going on at the time. A year later, 2 years later, a lot of African American movies came out. There was a huge,
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah. So Kelly, want to finish?
I just want to hear that last bit because it sounded like she was really about to step in it. Go ahead.
beyond to then make them
Wait,
happy.
Just rewind
and
it
I
just a
hate
little
saying
bit.
the word them because
Hit
I'm
it
not
back like 10 seconds.
Latinos being like, we're not represented. Why is it that they're like, it's always just that? And then, like, whenever they get upset, then everybody has to go above and beyond to then make them happy.
Yeah.
And I hate saying the word them because I'm not everybody's the same.
I mean,
Don't
look,
say them.
she's-
Don't say them. Okay.
she's-
When you say them, you already put yourself
Of
in a
course.
position of superiority. You're like, oh, I don't like them. Them. It's like it feels like she's looking down. So
Of
you
course.
don't use the word them.
Listen, it's
okay?
condescending, but like I'm surprised that it took this long for her to be canceled because she is an idiot. Yeah, she said it right there. I can't say that because I'm a blonde white woman. Yeah, you know what? You got to be way more careful, you idiot. You're a blonde. You look like every Fox News anchor. And you're saying, I'm sick of these black people complaining about their movies and they always raise a big thing and we gotta, it's like, dude, even if you're thinking that,
She's from New Orleans.
yeah, that's even worse. Louisiana could be a big racist state
So I
for
get
white
the
people.
ones that are like out there bitching about things because it's not. I don't think people aren't being nominated because of their skin color. Maybe you weren't nominated last year because you didn't do that great of a job in your movie.
Okay, press pause.
Like it's
And by the way, I'm not a fan of anyone getting canceled for the
Me
most
neither.
part, unless
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like, did some really, really egregious shit. But
I think
like,
she should have been canceled then, but now dig it up years
But
later.
here's the
She's
th-
about to get married to the man of her dreams, and she's happy finally. She found this Bo guy.
listen, babe,
Why-
she got swept up in the wave. The wave is going on right now.
But it's so not fair. Like
She's
she had her
swept out to sea.
Look, they canceled her book deal. Her book was like a bestseller. She has a great podcast. She's doing shows and tours out there. She's very entertaining. And the thing is, like, even though like she might sound a little bitchy here, I think like that a lot of people are thinking that, but the way she said it is wrong. If she was gonna get canceled, cancel her like before La La Land.
Here's the problem: is she is not well. Okay,
she's not racist.
No. There's a couple of problems. A, she is not in a position to say this stuff without worry of being canceled because she's beholden to Bravo and she's beholden to her sponsors and whoever's putting on her tour and whoever's publishing her book. She does not have her own platform like a Howard Stern or a Joe Rogan where it doesn't matter, she can get away with it and can't be canceled because she's so big that she is the thing. She's just a cog in a bigger wheel of the Bravo network and the Vanderpump dynasty and all that. So like,
a Bravo star. Yes,
she's playing with fire when she talks about stuff like this, so that she had just said she knows she can't say it, and she and like it could get her in big trouble. The other problem is this.
The way she said it too, it sounds very
the way
angry.
She said it, it's like okay.
It's angry. I feel anger. I feel anger. Now that I'm listening.
Yeah, she's like you guys are complaining about the make better movies. Now here's the thing, and we briefly touched on this the other night. It's not just about make better movies and then you'll get nominated, because the nomination process is the Academy members have to vote on these movies to different categories: best actor, best actress, best picture. They get sent DVDs to watch them, or they go and catch them themselves in the theater or wherever they see movies. And a lot of the Academy voters skews older and white, and they don't watch black movies. They're not interested in them. And they probably don't have many friends who would tell them about them. So,
but that year, the year that she's talking before the La La Land, I think it was the year before the Oscars of La La Land or that scandal thing. That year, generally, there were not that many African American movies done.
Listen,
there were good quality. There were some Kevin Hart comedies and stuff like that, but that's not gonna win an Oscar.
Listen, that might be true. I don't have the info on what exactly was released that year, but the larger issue is.
I understand that's also an issue.
But they need.
What Dante's bringing up is also an issue. I agree.
What I'm trying to say is that they aren't. If they don't see the movies, like maybe every year they pick one movie that's predominantly an African American cast or production, and they're like, okay, this is the one that everyone is kind of talking about. We're going to vote everything for this one, and they're shutting out a bunch of other stuff that could be good and could be deserving. But they don't see them, so they don't vote on them. And if you don't get voted on, then you can't get nominated, even if you gave a great performance, an Oscar-worthy performance.
Breaker. This is not Fidel Castro speaking to the people, okay? Let me talk too. What I'm thinking here is, like, what she was trying to say in a very bad way is that there are other producers, other directors from, like, Latino descent. There's great Latino, Mexican Americans that are not having.
Sure, everyone needs representation.
No, I'm saying they're not being represented. Now Asian movies, we got like the Korean. Was it Korean movie that
it was
went?
Korean.
Parasite got nominated Asian movie. Okay, but the thing is, like, it's getting there. But the thing is, before this, when she said this, there was no Asian movies coming out. There's no Indian movies being nominated. Then there was like Who Wants to Be Millionaire or whatever. I think it was like
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, there was a lot of other movies that came through from different countries, and not an international category, just a good different movies. And what she was trying to say in a poorly uncultured way, in an anger that I don't understand why she's so angry, because it's not like it's her movie that was put it down because it's an African American movie or whatever. But she sounds a little angry, to be honest. Now that I'm hearing this, because I haven't heard this in years, so I remember her saying that in the podcast. But honestly, okay, here's the point. It's true. There's other races and other people from different ethnical backgrounds that are not being represented and not being vocal. The African American community, they are more vocal about their movies and their position in Hollywood. And I do think that maybe she has a point. Asians should be more together. And I remember when the Parasite won, there was like a huge Asian pride happening, saying this is the first Asian, blah blah blah. It was so beautiful it was such a beautiful moment for the Asian community in Hollywood. But the thing is, like, there's also Latino movies. But the thing is about Latino movies, a lot of times Latinos, they kind of like disguised into the white thing. For example, Guillermo del Toro. He's Mexican. He's white. So people might think like I was a white guy, but but he's Mexican. So we gotta think about like and kind of be more accepting of different ethnic movies.
Of course, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that the white Academy members don't have interest in a lot of these movies.
But don't you think that's what she's trying to say?
No, but she's not. No, she's not saying that at all.
No, but
no, babe. She's saying make better movies, and she's missing the point that it's not just make better movies. Unfortunately, it's that the Academy does need to step in to make sure that the movies are being seen
for everyone, not only black movies. Everyone,
of course, everyone. Yeah, but they're not just going to stop at black movies. But like she just was very ineloquent, if that's a word, which is ironic if it's not. In her point, the way that she made her point, and the way that she looks and her general attitude just opens her up for this kind of criticism. Plus, I guess she also called the cops on a black castmate or something, which
I don't know much about that. What happened? No, I don't know exactly what was that. Why they called the cops on this woman?
Either, so
I don't know much about it, so I don't want to bring it up too much about it either. But I don't know. But as far as I could see the show, she's always seemed to be very open very friendly about the gay community. She seems to be very opinionated. She will say whatever it is, doesn't matter your race. It seems like it's just the type of person that she is.
Yeah.
The way she sounds here, she sounds angry. I don't know why. Yeah. What was the conversation leading up to this? But the point is, what I'm trying to say is, like, I think what she's trying to say, like you said, in an uncultured manner, in a politically incorrect manner, was that there's other people that are not being represented either, and then she kind of questioning why the African Americans are always the ones raising up all the steam.
Who knows if they are or they aren't, or if other people are and they're just not getting attention. But basically, she shouldn't have been the one to make that point. Now, let's talk about what she should do. So Stassi is getting swept out to sea. Her and her Italian descent boyfriend, who looks like me, they're gonna have to go deep underground.
But he has my eyes though, like the
I don't even want to imagine that.
What you?
I don't want to see him, and then be thinking about him.
He could be our son.
When,
but he's older than us.
Okay. Anyways, listen. What she should do, honestly, is lean, if she wants to have a career, because it's going to take a while for her to build her career back, because this just happened. Her whole tour is canceled, books, show, podcast, all that stuff. She should lean into it and just go join Fox News and just become a big conservative commentator.
No. Oh my God. Okay.
They would probably embrace her.
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, she's not a Republican, okay?
Doesn't matter. She should. No. She should. I mean, listen. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm advocating for the devil right now.
Okay.
She should buy into it and just be like, "F you, lib cucks. You guys canceled me. Well, guess what? I'm coming back with a primetime Fox News show."
That's what Dante would do.
And then I'm gonna go to OANN. And maybe I'll wind up asking questions of Trump in the White House press corps.
You would do that if you were her.
I would never do that. Sell out my actual principles? Of course not.
No, I don't.
I'm not blonde.
Okay. Oh, shut up. No, but look, I think what Dante's being funny here. I think what she should do.
I'm being serious.
Can I say something,
You
Castro?
can talk.
Like, you just controlling the conversation. Like, you're in this Honda, okay? The thing is, I think, like, honestly, she should have, if she was gonna get canceled, they should have canceled her then, okay?
Sure. Okay, but let's talk about what should happen now.
Okay, calm down. First of all,
I just don't want the audience to get bored. Sometimes, when we
they're bored of hearing you talking for like 10 minutes about what would you do in a hypothetical parallel universe. They're bored about that. They're not gonna be bored about what I have to say.
No, it's not about what you have to say. We just
I cannot talk about the weather. No, I cannot talk about the weather. that he's gonna be like fucking up with me and interrupting me in the beginning, pissing me off further, and now pissing me off further because doesn't let me conclude my thoughts here, taking me off track. So stop it, okay? Calm down. Let me speak my mind. Otherwise, you just do your own monologues by yourself, like Mark Maron for 15 minutes, okay? Otherwise, do that. Otherwise, let me talk. This is a two people podcast.
That's right.
Okay?
Couples that podcast together last together.
That we
supposedly.
Supposedly. I don't know. We don't know about that. We'll be the first ones to see. But look at this. Like, I'm just saying, I think what she should do now moving forward. First of all, I'm frustrated that they took so long to figure this out and fire now. Because now it feels like it's just like this witch hunt, which is what is happening. She should continue her podcast. I know she lost her book deal from like her what's the name? The people that print the book. What's the name?
I don't know who she's with. The publisher.
The publisher. The publishers drop her. Stassi, invest on your ebooks. Make a deal with Amazon. I'm pretty sure Bezos will be happy to get your dollars and people get your book. It's a good book actually. I downloaded it from my Kindle. It's a great book, by the way. It's how to be a basic bitch or something like that. It's fun. I read it when I'm in the pool, when I remember to charge my Kindle, which I don't know where it is.
How to criticize black people by Stassi Schroeder.
No, it's not that. No, her book is just basically just how to embrace your basicness, like how the things that you do that you're not necessarily super proud of.
Is she Aryan?
Cut it off. And the thing is, I think so. That's a great book. So what I would do if I was her, continue with the podcast. Podcasting is a broad way to kind of speak your mind. Apologize for being so angry. Why are you so angry with black people talking about speaking their mind? Why are you so angry, Stassi? Do a self-analysis about what's going on in your life. And you're so blessed. You found this wonderful guy, Bo. I watch him on the show. He has to deal with your huge personality that's not easy to deal with. Like watching the show and listening to her. She's not an easy person to deal with. He loves her so much. It's so cute. And I hope she's happy. I hope they continue, find different ways to make a YouTube maybe. Like find your own platform and don't just disappear and go to Fox News like Dante is saying. Find a different way outside the system. Come back, apologize, and maybe in a few years people are gonna be like, okay, we'll give you. I'm not gonna just unfollow her, to be honest with you. I think she's very intelligent. I like her points, but I don't understand the anger. That's true. I listened to her. I don't agree with what she said. I think she's trying to say something, but she said something the wrong way. Right. And I think that, but I'm going to continue following her in her different platforms. I think she just don't disappear. It is so sad. Like, what message you're going to bring to the world because you get canceled, you're going to disappear?
She has to disappear for a little while to do some soul searching.
Going to open a water
some
here.
Learning.
There you go.
And all the other stuff that publicists tell people to say. But she'll disappear for a little while, but maybe she'll be back, maybe not. I don't really know. I guess she was popular. I saw the list of her tours. No. I didn't realize she had so many tour dates in so many different cities, but
no, it was big. She will be like
I didn't realize she offered so much to the public.
Comedians have they have the whole they sell out and the whole
yeah.
She would use comedy clubs and stuff like that, and she was sold out.
Maybe she can get in on that Call Her Daddy podcast. She could kind of. It's that podcast with the two girls from Barstool Sports where they're arguing about money because the one girl's boyfriend apparently came in and tried to get her to ask for way too much money and break the contract, and now they've split up and only one of them's doing it. It's a whole thing.
I don't listen to those people, but
maybe
anyways,
they can link up.
Look, what I'm saying is just I think she should continue. She has a lot of followers, and I think some people are gonna be very take it to heart. But other thing, people let's try to remember here. Let's all think together. Are you perfect? Are you perfect? Do you everything that comes out of your mind, out of your mouth, something that you're proud about? Probably not. Sometimes you're in a fight. Sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you say the wrong thing to hurt people. We are not perfect. All this trying to look in celebrities and waiting for them to be the perfect human beings, digging up their past, what they were in high school, or what they said to who or that, or when they said years and years and years ago. I think this is shitty because we are human beings. We all here to learn. We're constantly changing. As long as she's not a pedophile rapist, which she's not, or she's not a racist, because she's not a racist. She sounds racist so bad in this video, but as far as you can see, know her personality, she's not a racist. She's friends of all sorts of people.
Was she ever on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane by any chance?
No, she's not.
See her on the call logs?
No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just saying,
look,
people,
you're making a good point about.
Are we perfect? Is everybody perfect? Like, I said some shit to people that I when I was younger. I'm not proud of it. And some stuff, people said stuff to me. Nobody is perfect. Even when I'm mad. When you're mad, you had a couple drinks, you have a temper, you say stuff to people, Dante. People say things to each other. Yeah, you do. Everybody does. And can I say something? This thing to trying to make people be perfect, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I know. It's got and digging up stuff from years ago because you're mad that people weren't more mad at whatever it was. That stuff annoys me too. I'm not a fan of cancellation. I am a fan of people learning, changing their minds, being willing to admit that they have changed their mind based on new information or experience. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with personal growth. In fact, I love it. And cancel culture does not allow for that. Okay, that's enough Stassi Schroeder talk.
Jeez, that was the entire podcast tonight.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Well,
let's talk about, why don't we, let's experiment with the lengths. Also, we got to go eat and stuff. We got to go make the food. So
okay,
let's try to keep the podcast a little short at first as we introduce ourselves to people and they ease us in to their listening routine. We don't want to impose.
Okay, Dante's being very controlling of the mic today.
I'm really not. Other than the fact that I'm literally holding it because we're sitting in my car and I have to hold it upright so we can both talk into it.
Dante can talk about him holding the mic, but he cannot really let me talk about the weather. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not the Weather Channel.
I can say whatever I want. This is freedom of speech.
You can say whatever you want. I'm just thinking of the listener. If I was a listener and someone started talking about the weather,
you just that icebreaker. Cut it off. It's an elevator. It's like the icebreaker to enter in. You just start it in. It's the lube. Okay, you need the lube to get in. So cut it off.
Lube me up. Okay, let's give a brief little bit about ourselves and our relationship.
We don't hate each other, by the way. And we're not together for 20 years.
Just so you know. Yeah, I know. We've been together for a year and a half.
People probably think good luck with that.
It's that fiery Italian blood that flows within us both. Okay, so we met a year and a half ago. We were both aspiring actors, right?
Yes.
Oh, don't worry, we're not going to make this whole acting podcast, and it's that shit's annoying.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather.
That's right. We're not going to be playing improv games on the podcast.
Okay.
And so we met, and we found out we had
the teacher paired us up, and it was super an accident. By the way, his name is Dante, so I thought Dante was a black guy. Then I was like, pass me your Instagram, because I was like, who's this guy?
Easy, Stassi.
No, but then they passed me. He gave me his Instagram. We're checking on each other, and then we just really bonded from the beginning. And I don't know what happened. How did you feel when you met me?
It was amazing, and we're gonna tell everyone more details about our relationship as the podcast goes on over time. But
okay, Castro.
Suffice to say, we met, and we're still together a year and a half later, going strong, and now we're podcasting.
In the Republic
together.
of China.
Like most relationships in America today, we communicate through podcast.
The thing is, I think one of the precious things that Dante and I have when we met is I know a lot of people met each other online, and I think I'm not judging on you. I'm not saying hey, you're worse than me or whatever, but there's so much of this have to put up a facade, and you have to meet someone and talk to them and text them and all that.
Yeah.
We met in a real world. And I'm very proud of this for some reason. I hold a pride over, because it's a natural thing. There's no like some friend is saying, hey, I know this wonderful guy, Dante. Do you want to meet him?
Ugh,
I'll be like, oh, no, get it off. Like, get out of my life. Or, there was nothing, there was no setups. There's no friends trying to help or family trying to help or just like on trying to send him like, what is a good angle to send a good picture? And there was none of that. It was just us in the real world. We really like the way we're communicating, figure out that we're Italian and blah, blah, blah. And then we did a scene together. And when we get out of the car and look at this guy, and he looked at me. Guys, I don't want to go into details, but there was magic happening. And it was like the most wonderful moment. And we'll give you more details later.
It was incredible.
Oh, happy Brazilian Valentine's Day. It's today.
Oh.
That's why we should be romantic.
What is it just called Brazilian Valentine's Day, or do they call it anything else?
No, it's just called Valentine's Day. No, Valentine's Day. It's called Dia dos Namorados, which means the day of boyfriends.
Oh.
And girlfriends.
Oh.
Namorados.
I thought it was like, treat your boyfriend specially day.
No, it's treat your boyfriend nice and treat your girlfriend nice, like Valentine's Day. But it's called the Dia dos Namorados, day of the people that are in love, day of the people that are in relationships. It's probably like a good translation would be good relationship day. It's a relationship day.
Got it.
A loving relationship.
So some of you won't be able to celebrate this, even if you're in a relationship.
What are you talking about?
Well, you said it's good relationship day, and I'm assuming, out of however many listeners we have, not all of them are in a good relationship. So if you're not, just don't celebrate it. Okay. You have something to say?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're about to go pick up some Beyond Meat sausages and, try those for the first time. And we hope you enjoy this show, and we'll keep listening. Whoever you are, like, subscribe, share, comment.
Oh, God, I hate when people say that. I hate when you watch on YouTube, like, subscribe, and turn the bell on. I'm like, fuck off. Like, let's just go to the point. Like, follow if you like. And sorry that we're a little bit, there's some tension going on here. I don't know what it is, what's the meaning of it, but we'll figure out as the night progresses.
Oh, no.
And then, but, this is not a typical relationship podcast. We're not going to be just talking about us. We'll talk about everything and what's going on in the world. And,
Yeah.
Thank you for listening if you make this far, and we'll stay connected, and we'll make a Twitter for this podcast so we can communicate with the fans, so you guys can say what's going on and stay in touch.
Right. And next episode, Evie will be sharing some of her horror stories involving men.
Not Dante. He's not an abusive boy. Even though he sounds abusive, he's not.
Whoa, I don't sound abusive. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm joking. It's a joke. Come on.
No. Now people are going to be like, of course she said she's joking. That's a sign.
No, he's a little controlling today for some reason with the topics. And
I'm just trying to be a good broadcaster.
No,
that's all.
You know what? People like the broadcaster that say things that he wants, and it's not like sucking the dick of the audience. Okay, we want to hear the truth, and
we don't want to suck your dick.
Nobody wants. I mean, I don't want to suck your dick,
audience.
Audience, and we will just say whatever we want. And if I want to do icebreaker, let me do my icebreaker.
All right, fine. Next time on the show, a full weather report and Evie's horrific experiences with men and whatever else is going on in the news.
Horrific experiences with men. It sounds like you talk about cheating on you or something.
We're gonna find out.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No. Okay, all right. We're just talking about guys who are too aggressive when they hit on women. Okay, you're gonna want to be there to hear this.
It's gonna be a great story, and Dante is gonna talk about how he shaved his balls without cutting him.
Oh my God! I mean, I will, sure. And that's it. Good night.
Good night.
Now for a little bonus content, if you're still listening. Here's a little argument that Evie and I got into before we started recording the podcast. More of a false start than anything. So if you're still listening and you're interested, here's what kind of set the tone before the beginning that you heard.
No, come on. I'm not mentally prepared for this.
What do you mean? Why? Are you mad about something?
No. Oh, guys, it's like TMZ now. Like in the mic. Are you mad about something? And I just pull it in my face, the microphone.
I think
This is a test.
she's mad about something. No, this is not a test. We're starting the show like this.
In this note.
I think we got off to a bad start with this first podcast. Beforehand, I was trying to briefly scan the news just to see if there's anything that inspired me that I wanted to talk about. And I don't know, I guess my girlfriend got pissed off at me about that or
Your girlfriend.
or annoyed.
Oh, who's your girlfriend?
Well, we haven't done our introductions yet, so we don't know who I am or you. And don't hit stop recording. Just talk. But please.
Okay, I am
Don't get it too close.
his girlfriend. My name is Evie. I am Italian, Brazilian, New American. Yes, it kind of probably pisses me off when I get to his house and he's clipping his nails outside. He's not ready for me. And then when I'm in there, he is in his phone checking the news. And that pissed me off. And then right before the podcast, he checked the news again. And I'm just like, can you acknowledge that I'm here? So that's why I'm a little pissed off and a little surprised that he started the podcast in this note.
See, I didn't realize you've been pissed off the whole time. I thought you were just pissed off since like 5 minutes ago when I was checking the news. So you've been upset that I was clipping my nails on my porch when you showed up.
I was.
Don't get it too close.
Like, we having a mic problem here because we did a pre-podcast before and I was talking too close to the mic and it was just a nightmare.
I was too. I'm not, we both were, but.
So then now, like, we have to kind of figure out the setup. So let's, yes, I wasn't mad at you, babe. I was, a little surprised you decided to do that right there since we didn't see each other all day and it's like 7 p.m. I'm like, yeah, you really have to do that right now? Like, I'm here.
Right, but I just quickly, like I said, my nails were long and it was bothering me and I didn't realize that you were here yet. So I thought, all right, while you just parked, while you're getting out of the car, I'll do a quick clip and just get the nails just a little shorter. I don't want to accidentally scratch you. I wonder if we can hold it like this. Can we just hold it like this?
I don't know. Why don't you cut this part and then we restart again?
Nah, let's keep it. Come on. I'm Dante. I'm Los Angelino, born and raised here, of Italian descent, I guess. And welcome to our show, Couples That Podcast Together Last Together. Or, if it's easier to remember, CTPLT. Catuplet. Let's get started.
All right. Okay.